Welcome back to another episode of the Decision Hour. I'm your host, Adam Bird. Folks, I got a good one and a hot one ready for you today. Today's guest brings kind of fire in the gut storytelling that we're all about here at the Decision Hour and Heroes Media Group as a whole. Met this gentleman, God, it must have been almost a year, maybe 9 months ago or so. And he kind of put me in a hot seat. He was doing an interview with me, and we'll touch base on that just a little bit. He's a United States Marine Corps veteran with several tours, and we'll get into that as well. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Brendon Smith. Sir, how are you? Welcome to the
Very
show.
good. Very good. Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure talking to you again.
Absolutely. I kind of want to just take a step back. I usually ask everybody, like, give us a brief synopsis of your life, who you are. You and I met through a mutual friend of ours several months ago. You're an author, and you're putting a project together. Actually, you know what? And we're going to get into that because I think it leads into some of the other things that you've recently done. But tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, brother. As you said, I'm a United States Marine vet. I was in Bosnia, I was in Kosovo, and the invasion of Iraq. And like a lot of guys, I came home and I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
The fight just changes. Now I work as an addiction counselor, a writer, father. I sit across veterans every day, and they're trying to figure out how to deal with what they brought back. And that's what this book is about. It's about, well, this latest book that I'm writing, I wrote and came out with, Despicable Heroes, is about what happens after that, what we deal with when we come home.
Yeah. Since you're bringing that up, what do you mind sharing with the audience a little bit about what it was like for you coming home?
Disgruntled.
Yeah.
Very disgruntled. I had a 4-year degree. I had multiple combat tours under my belt and was told, you come home right after the war, and there's jobs open for you, and this is open for you. And I found myself pumping gas for $6.30 an hour, trying just to put food on the table when I came home.
Yeah.
So you get disgruntled. And then I don't know about you, but it's the post-traumatic stress creeped up on me over years.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, did
it,
it happen right away, or did you know, was it like years later when it started to hit?
it was years later when it started to hit,
Yeah.
and I couldn't deal with it anymore. And what I ended up doing was reaching out to my little brother, my buddy Junie, and he was my gunner in Iraq, and just reaching out to him and being able to communicate, even though I was going through the darkest time of my life with drugs and alcohol, like so many of us do.
Right.
Um,
Were you using those as like an scapegoat? Was this like, were you
it was to,
realizing you had the PTSD, so it resorted to drugs and alcohol, or
I came back and immediately started drinking again. And it was more of a thing of, let's drink on the weekends. Let's drink all weekend. Let's drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll drink every night.
yeah.
Then it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And it's just a big downhill spiral and I'm blessed. I have a hell of a 19-year-old that told me that she wanted me to stop drinking. So I did. And then she said, Daddy, I want you to stop smoking cigarettes. And that's even harder than alcohol. And I had to raw dog that too. So I'm like, yeah, if we have the right motivation, we can drop anything, especially with our training and bearing that we get in the military.
Right.
And
Well, in Despicable Heroes, you dive straight into the reality of and you've said it here, the war that follows you home, right?
yes,
And you got the VA systems, which a lot of us have had interesting experiences with. You talk about loss and survivor's guilt. Why is it so important to you to avoid the standard like Hollywood
no,
redemption arc that we see in most military books?
I didn't write this for Hollywood, dear Adam. I wrote it for us. This is our book. This
Yeah.
is us. I was lucky. I was in 1995. I joined, so that I had the peacetime Marine Corps and the wartime Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So I can. This book examines both of that. It examines the frustration of having playing more games than Milton Bradley. It's the fights. It's the going out in town and with your buddies and getting all your frustration from your command out on another unit
Yeah.
just because. What do they call it? Kerfuffles. But
I ain't heard that in a long time.
it's a good one.
You got to bring that back.
Always have to. But I worked from there, and then it transitions into what I did in Nasiriyah when Task Force Terror came from Kuwait into Iraq in the initial push. Um, it even though and this is a good, I want to reiterate this. I was never in Ramadi or Fallujah, but I had to put an homage into the of those two battles into the book because they're so important. And so many people have been in these battles that unfortunately our schools aren't teaching anymore and people forget, so we seem left out.
Yeah.
This remembers us.
Yeah.
And then the third part of the book is the post-traumatic stress, or as General Mattis puts it, a post-traumatic growth. um it starts out with the drinking and the drugs and the stress and the fighting and all the bad things that come with it. And then comes redemption. On the cover of the book, it has a picture of me, younger, without a beard, sitting there with a book open, writing. And in the book is a bottle of booze. On the cover is a bottle of booze, pills scattered around, cigarettes. But he always picks up the pen
Okay.
as the resort. He has all these options of drugs and alcohol and suicide and mental health problems, but this is me saying this is how I got through it. I picked up the pen.
Yeah. And wrote
Um,
about it. And you basically
and
you're writing a modern day history book.
yes, it's a historical fiction since I can't really use the names.
What For those that are listening or watching, where can they find the book?
It's on Amazon right now. It's Despicable Heroes by Brendon Smith on him on Amazon.
Folks, we're gonna have the link in the show notes posted below. So just click on that in the show notes and you can go get your copy today. Brandon, you said that you want to turn scars into stories and tattoos into testimonies. How
Yes.
much how much how much of the of writing of Despicable Heroes, how much of that was therapeutic for you in your own mind versus writing it to help the veteran who maybe feels forgotten?
This book wasn't written, it was written for me to get rid of it. I had in the table of contents, which is different than a lot of books, it goes historically by year.
Okay.
And when you read it, you'd be like, okay, at this time, while I was in Bosnia, Timothy McVeigh was going on in the Oklahoma City bombing. So it gives you a reference of what time of history was going on and what I was doing. So I have that. And one of the things I need to say is that a lot of us went to war. A lot of us never came back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very much so.
It the book is, you asked if it was for Hollywood. It's not for Hollywood. It's for PFC John Jones that feels nobody understands him anymore.
Yeah.
And he's not, he even his, because sometimes it's hard for us as vets to ask to reach out. And sometimes it's hard to reach out when to somebody who's in a dark place just as you. What I wanted this book to be would be a light at the end of the tunnel with me holding up a flashlight saying, hey, I'm not coming back in there, but I'll be here, the light to get you out and show you the way to get out. With a lot of the addicted persons that I worked with and I work with, um, I use creative outlets all the time. In my office, I have a guitar. I can't play it. I'm not a player to save my life. But Adam, there's gentlemen that their only outlet is music.
Yeah.
So those people I let come in my office, and it's like a concert in my office. They're playing all their heart and their emotions out. And when you're in a rehab setting
Yeah.
where everything is so, it's like a pressure cooker.
Right.
These are outlets. And the book is an outlet. Just like writing it was an outlet for me, I hope those that read it, it becomes an outlet for them.
I want to talk about your day job. I want to transition because you mentioned your day job here a little bit. Let's talk about that for a second. You're currently working as you said as a drug and alcohol counselor. Your own journey with the darkness and the transition, um, how does it help you connect with the people that you were counseling?
That's a very dark story, Adam. I'm a very dark person. Like I'm smiling and everything, but I had a very dark
So
past.
do you feel like in the counseling side of it or being the counselor helping others get through their transition and kind of through their darkness, does it help you see the light uh yourself, and does it help with you personally and
It
your
keep
struggles with it?
Absolutely. It keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
Um, the people I work with, the addicted people I work with, especially the veterans, um, they give me hope because they're allowing themselves to be at their most vulnerable and they don't give up. Like, I wish I could explain it. Why I do what I do. Like, my sister OD'd from fentanyl 2 years ago and didn't make it. My best friend, I've talked to him before about him, Junie. He didn't make it. He's a suicide victim. Um, Even though like there's no stigma to someone who didn't make it. It's just the last symptom of a very bad mental health disorder. Uh, I myself, yes. I'll admit it. I've attempted suicide in the past. Um, I'm no special than anybody else there. But why I do it is it keeps me sober and it pays respect to my sister and my little brother who didn't make it, and all of the gentlemen and women that don't make it from this illness, especially when they come home.
It's tough
Oh,
to hear that. It's. I mean, as a counselor, you're pretty much in it every day, right? You're in the trenches every day.
that's where
What's
I
the
like to be.
what's the what? Let me ask you this then. What's the most common hurdle that you see veterans hitting when they try to put the uniform behind them and rejoin into like the civilian world?
I'll go a little counselor on you.
Okay, go away, fire away,
Um,
fire away.
in the post-traumatic stress world, what happens is a trauma happens. And when that happens, it severs neural pathways. Your body will reroute to those neural pathways to fix itself, but you still have that broken neural pathway.
Right.
Um, that is what is the physical thing going on with post-traumatic stress. We are sustained to another word for constant, to sustain combat, sustain stress over months, over years,
Hmm.
and those neural pathways sever and they don't reconnect. What When that happens, people don't, their coping skills go out the window. So they go for what is easy,
Okay.
a substance. And then that substance becomes an addiction. And that just becomes another problem.
It
Um,
spirals.
what I see, and I see it every day, is mental health disorders such as post traumatic stress disorder being diagnosed as a substance abuse disorder, and it's not. People are using the substances to cover up their mental health anguish. And I wish more people would see that and address that. And makes me very good at what I do. I have an ability to meet people on their level. I'm not above anybody. I'm not below anybody. I'm just a person like you.
Right.
And I'm here in a position to help you. And that's what I do.
When someone's in the thick of it, of the addiction or survivor's guilt, what's the first real what's the first realistic step they need to take to start rebuilding?
Survivor's guilt comes in any shape or form. It could be anything from your buddy dying with you next to you in combat, or as other people I know, we haven't done enough,
Mm,
even though we went to combat.
right.
We weren't in firefights every day. We weren't everything. You were still there. That's a different sort of survivor's guilt. Now, once you realize that this is not a trauma Olympics, you're not trying to outdo somebody else. People in Kuwait got PTSD from the Scud missiles, just as people from in Nazaria got it from being shot at. You can't compare. So the first thing is realizing that it's not a trauma Olympics, and then reach out to someone you served with and say, hey, I'm not that person. This is me now, and I'm hurting. Can I get help? Reach to someone like myself that has been there and see the way out.
I think it's important what you're saying right now, Brandon, is because I think a lot of times we get into that mindset where, oh, I'm so alone, or I got to do it by myself, or whatnot, right? And or I don't want to bother anybody. Like
Always.
how often do we say that? I mean, let's be honest for a second. Like I've certainly done it. And we have to start getting ourselves in that mindset. We're just like, I might have taken the uniform off, but I still have those connections. I still have the friends. I still have, and even though they're down a different path right now or whatnot, like you have to reach out. Like nobody gets anywhere in life but doing everything on their own. And you have to be able to reach out and know that there's people out there that are here to help, right?
Yes.
Those of you that are listening to this right now, if you're feeling like you're in a spot or you're feeling alone or you're feeling like maybe there's something wrong with you or whatnot, talk to us, give us a call, reach out or call your battle buddy, reach out, like get help. Like there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help. Nothing wrong with
No,
that.
not at all.
Um,
And
Go ahead.
and one thing I need to reiterate with that, brother, is just because the first person can't handle you, talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
Keep talking, keep banging on doors until you
It,
get that ear that's going to listen to you and
it,
understand you.
it's surprising how therapeutic talking about it can be. Now, here's the thing: does that mean you have to relive some stuff? Yeah, but
Sometimes
sometimes, but the more you talk about it, at least for me, I've realized the more I talked about certain things, like the more I talked about it, I don't want to say the easier it got, but I started recognizing when I was getting upset or
you'd
whatnot. So
recognize
right,
the triggers.
right, yeah, yeah,
And
folks. Listen, Despicable Heroes. You can get it on Amazon. If you're listening to this, just open up another browser, go to Amazon, type in Despicable Heroes by Brendon Smith. We're going to have it again on the links in the show notes below. Um, I wanted to ask you something about writing.
yes, anything.
When you write about your experiences and trauma, it's hard to ask this. It requires you. I just mentioned it. Like sometimes you got to relive
Yes.
it, right? To some degree. To some degree. How do you protect your own mental health while digging so deep into the darkness for like when you're writing a book and stuff like that?
I can't speak for everybody on this because the digging, the more I dug, the more self healing it got. It's a hard book for me to read. It was a hard book for me to edit. It was a hard book for me to write
Yeah.
because
So, and
every time
if you're
I
doing all of that, Brandon, like how did you get through like if somebody's listening to this, right? And they're thinking
a
about,
lot of tears.
okay,
I
being vulnerable, is that
very
safe to say?
when I wrote Despicable Heroes, I started out in a timeline. And then I wrote what was going on in those timelines and then what I was doing. And then I just kept digging deeper. Um, I'll read passages and I will bawl. It'll send me back to it like that. But for me to do what I needed to do with this book and it to be what it needed to be for us,
Yeah.
I had to. I had to give you all the vulnerable. Like, there's times of extreme bravery, there's times of extreme cowardice. You know the difference. You know it happens. This is saying it happens. We live with it, we move on. And if I can tell anybody anything about this book, about PTSD, about anything, it's get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't, you always have to get up. You're going to get knocked down a million times. I got stories that'll, in my life, that'll make you cry. But you got to get up and you got to keep going because it's not the end. And for those that didn't make it, you got to do it for them. I live my life for them. I have a good life. I'm very happy with it. I don't want it to end.
Oh, you just answered my next question. So let me ask you this then, Brendon. What's next for you? You're writing books. You've got your company, Black Cross Publications. What do you have more stories that are waiting in
Yes.
the notebooks right now that are coming out? Like what's next?
Oh, what's next? Well, what's next is a book that is in stasis now called Vetspiration, which you should be familiar with
Yeah, very much so.
because
Yep.
you are featured in it. And what Vetspiration Volume 1 is, it's a wonderful book. Is a series of veterans that have been through hell and did above and beyond afterwards. Even though they're dealing with post-traumatic stress, survivor's guilt, addiction, what you name it, they've overcome and exceeded, and they are being the light at the end of the tunnel with me, saying, "Hey, you want out? There's ways to come out.
Yeah.
Come on, and here's resources." And it's absolutely it's an amazing book. We're looking to get it out in Veterans Day. We're looking to push it out. We have a few more interviews to do, but that is I can't wait for you to read it. It's powerful.
Yeah,
And
I'm certainly looking forward to it. Of course, I'm probably being a little biased
of
because I'm in
course.
it, but and it'd be my first one, so I'm looking forward to it. Folks, Despicable Heroes, you can get it now on Amazon, or if you're listening to this, just click the link in the show notes below. Brandon, we're coming up on time, brother. What else do you want our listeners to know?
Uh, you're not alone. For
Yeah,
the listeners and for you and everybody, you're not alone. This book is about us. It's not about me. I'm not a writer, a great writer. I'm just someone that's been through a lot of stuff and was able to put it on page so that we can not feel so alone. And second thing I'd like to say, Adam, is thank you very much for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
of
This
course,
has been
brother.
a wonderful talk.
Yeah, I
And we need
absolutely.
to have more of these.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And especially about stuff like this. There's no denying that, my friend. Brother, I appreciate your time today and thank you for coming on and joining us on the show. Looking forward to reading the book, looking forward to the next book coming out. Folks, we got all of Brandon's contact information below and the Amazon link where you can purchase uh, Despicable Heroes right now. So make sure you go check that out. What else? That's all the time that we have, but make sure you also go check out our parent company, Heroes Media Group. We got new shows over there, new articles that are up. Go follow them on the social platforms. Until next time, you've been listening to The Decision Hour.